Hey, how you doing, world? My name is Che, the owner of ABC Towing and Transport, and I want to introduce to you the first and one and only tow company mastery course. Towing is an $8 billion industry, and I want to show you how you can make some of that money. So let's get started. With this course, we're going to show you how you can get started with no money down and no credit. That's right, I said it. No money down and no credit. I'm going to show you how you can scale the business and eventually own a tow truck just like this one I have behind me, or own a fleet of tow trucks just like I got. And hey, who does not want to own a fleet of tow trucks? I'm going to show you dispatching. I'm going to show you the difference between a flatbed and a snatch truck. I'm going to show you how you can get started using other people's trucks and start making money right now. That's right, using other people's trucks and start making money right now. So what that means is you do not have to know how to drive a tow truck to own a tow company. So if you want to get started and become the king of tows in your city, this is the course for you.
I'm on a whole nother little wave. I'm all about doing this shit for myself. I'm on a whole nother little wave. I can't be dependent on nobody else. I put a hole in a pussy nigga for playing with me. Better play with yourself. I'm on
a Hustler's Mindset podcast.
Hey, how you doing, world? It's your guy. I am Che, and I want to introduce you and welcome you to the first episode of the Hustler's Mindset podcast. And this is the home of the hustlers, where we discuss and teach you how to get more money, more. And today I want to bring in and introduce you to a good friend of mine that I have the privilege of knowing for a while. He is also the host of his own podcast, and it's called Go Hard or Go Homeless. Also, he is the owner of RMR, Rent My Ride Share. That's not it. He's also the owner of the Rent My Ride Share Domination course, where he's going to teach you all about what you need to do to get your cars and get them rented out where you can start making money. Also, he's my business partner in my Make Wealth Real family, where we teach you everything you need to know about making wealth real. And he's also the CEO of Trillionaire Elite. I want to introduce you to Mr. Jeff Trill, aka Mr. Trillionaire. How you doing, Jeff?
Man, I'm phenomenal, man. What an introduction. I like that. You got all the bullet points. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Got to do it like that for a boss, you know.
Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. You're a boss as well. Thank you for having me on the Hustler's Mindset podcast show. This is dope. I like the setup. This is pretty awesome. So happy to be here, brother.
Oh, we're glad to have you here. You know, want to talk a little bit about yourself and how you started in your podcast, Go Hard or Go Homeless. You know, that's real deep. That's powerful right there. That's not just go hard or go home. That's go homeless. You know, so I want to talk to you a little bit about that and let you tell the people a little bit about your beginnings and where you started, because I know you have a powerful message behind that. And I know you're not originally from Atlanta. Right. I believe it's Bronx, New York.
BX, baby. Shout out to my BX crew.
That's
right. Them X's. We the real Wakanda, right?
Before
Wakanda did it, threw the X's up, that's what we was doing for
that. Got you. So, and if I'm not mistaken, you also originally from Ghana?
Yes, I'm from part of the Ashanti tribe in Ghana, Accra. So shout out to all my Ashantis and all my Ghanaians. Yeah,
that's love. That's love. So tell us about your Go Hard or Go Homeless movement.
Phenomenal. Well, the Go Hard or Go Homeless movement came from me actually being homeless, right? And I knew I had to get out of homelessness. I had to go hard. You see, every day that you're not going hard, you get more closer to homelessness, right? So what happened was, I was young and I got on my own. Thought I was, a grown man. So my mom took me out, and I started sleeping on the trains and got into this armory, right? If you're from New York, you know about the army in Brooklyn. So in the army is it's like a bed, lock a bed, lock a bed, right? So it's bed, a locker, a bed, a locker. So it's in this open space. And I didn't like that. So at the time I didn't have no clothes. My mom's kicked me out with the clothes on my back. I call her the locksmith because she know how to change the lock, right? So she changed the lock before I even got home. I'm like, what's going on? She said, you got the rent money? I'm like, rent money? So, so if you ain't got no rent, then you can't come back in here, right? And so what happened was, I was in this army in Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, and I went to go get a voucher for some clothing, right? Because I ain't had no money for clothes, so I had to get a voucher to get clothing.
Gotcha.
Well, I didn't know where to go, so I kind of like skipped the line, but I was like, "Hey, is this where you get clothing from?" She's like, "Get out of here, wait your turn," and I didn't like how she said it to me. So from that point on, I said, nah, forget this. I left the armory. I went and asked, I raised like $5. I asked somebody for $1, so I got $5. Then I went down to the bootlegger spot, and I bought 5 CDs. Back then, the mixtape CDs was big. So I bought 5 bootleg CDs. I sold them for $20, and I made $25. Went right back to the wholesale spot, bought $25 worth of CDs because they were worth $1 CD. Mm-hmm. So I bought $25 worth of CDs, and I ain't never looked back from that point on. And so the go hard or go homeless mindset is either you're going to go hard or you're going to go homeless. This go hard or go home is incorrect. That's why I call it all my incorrect series. Because if you don't go hard, you ain't going to have a home to go to.
That's right.
Right? So that's the motto of go hard or go homeless. And so everything we do is to go hard so we never have to go homeless ever again.
That's right. That's a beautiful, man. Me, I kind of got a similar background, but it's a little bit different. I grew up in a family full of hustlers. That's why I have that mindset, and that's why this podcast is that, nobody in my family had jobs. I never seen my father with a job. My mother never worked. My uncles, everybody's from the streets. It wasn't until I got older to realize, they hustlers, but they was hustling the wrong way. It was when I started seeing people get locked up. My father went to prison. Uncles went to prison. Everybody was gone, and I was out there by myself at that time. Of course, I didn't get it right then. It wasn't until I got indicted by the feds that I decided to get my mind right. But I want to talk to you a little bit more about the RMR,
sure.
Rent My Ride Share, because I know you got a powerful movement going with that. I see a lot of people following your movement. They're joining your movement, and they're having success with it. And that's men and women. So talk to us about that.
Yeah, definitely. And I also, before I talk about that, when I did the Go Hard or Go Homeless, people gravitated to that. So I started to make I put it on apparel because, we put powerful sayings on walls in your house that nobody can see unless they come over and come and see that. So I said, if I put it on my chest, then you have no chance but to see it and make a decision whether you're going to go hard today or get closer to going homeless, right?
Gotcha. So
that's the extreme of the extreme. So that's basically why I started the clothing line, you know what I'm saying? Go hard or go homeless, motivate me brand. So we motivating the people one t-shirt at a time. So that's basically what that is. So from that, I've always said, I've been driving Uber and Lyft for 7 years. When I came to Atlanta back in 2014, I stayed in them little, I guess, what do they call them? Extended stays?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is lit. I got my own little kitchen, So that was cool, right? But I was like, I need to make some money. Mm-hmm. And so I had a car. And no, I'm lying. I didn't have a car. This is the first time, I was able to get a car and get a car note. Because in New York, it was all cash, you know what I'm saying? We wasn't getting no car notes. We wasn't getting approved for no car notes either. So when they said, you can approve me for a car? Oh, give me that. And as soon as I got the car, I found out about Uber and Lyft. I said, wait, you going to pay me to drive around the city and learn the city? So I'm new 2014, don't know the city. If anybody who moved to a state or a city, especially in Atlanta, you're going to be in that little area until you got a car or something to get you out of that area. So that was in that little area, you know what I'm saying? And so I was able to get a car, and I found out about Uber and Lyft. And they said, you're going to pay me to drive people around and learn the city? Oh, bet, I'm in. So I've been doing it for 7 years. And I said, I was now at a level where I'm making money. I'm doing great. And I started to get into certain mentorship. Shout out to Him 500. Shout out to CEO Matty J. Shout out to Push Man Mitch. These are my mentors that kind of told me the game of how to, get your credit right. And then when you get your credit right, you're in a better position to make bigger power moves.
Exactly.
Right? And so I got, cha-ching. All right. So as a result of that, and talking to my other car mentors, my car rental mentors, I realized that they teach a lot about Toro and stuff like that, but the difference between Toro and me is that I don't want to do all that work. I'm not looking to be a slave to my success. Does it make sense?
It makes perfect sense.
And a lot of those Toro businesses, and shout out to Toro, people that do Toro and all that cool stuff. But for me, I feel like that I was going to become a slave to my success.
Gotcha.
And so I said, wait a minute. I've rented cars through Uber before. I know the problems that go on. I know why we ain't getting our cars, why we not getting approved for cars, right? And why we got to rent cars to work. So I said, wait a minute. I can rent to people like myself. I am that avatar.
Hold on, Jeff. You're moving too fast. You're moving too fast. And the reason why I say you're moving too fast, because here at a Hustler's Mindset, we're talking to people that they really don't know. If you already know, then this is not probably the podcast for you. I got a lot of people, I got an uncle recently, 2 weeks ago, just came home from doing 40 years. He's been locked up since he's 19. I don't want him to come out and have to go get a job and do all this. No, it's time for you to work on yourself, make your own money, and come up. So what I was saying, hold up, is because a lot of people don't even know what Toro is. They don't even know what hire car is. So, explain to them what you're talking about and what he's saying is he's eliminating the middleman. I'm gonna just say that, but I'm gonna let him elaborate on it.
Right. So I figured a long time ago that I am the platform. People thinking that Toro is a platform that allow average regular people to take their cars, put it on their platform, and let somebody else rent their car to gain a profit. So the same thing that Hertz, Avis, and these Alamo is doing, you now can do that with your own car, your own personal vehicle, or your own investment vehicle, and make the same kind of profits or similar to the profits that these Avis rental cars and enterprise companies are making.
Correct.
So now you become your own enterprise, your own Hertz, your own Alamo, right? You leveraging their platform because they have the people that want to rent cars, and you are the person that can provide the car for them to rent out. Now, like I said, I am the platform, right? Because truth be told, when you put your car on that platform, Toro is not obligated to put your cars in front of people. Yeah, it can, but they're not obligated. So I teach my mentors, I teach everybody, like, you are the platform. So that's why when I get a new car, you're going to know about it on my social media platforms. I am that platform. Does that make sense?
So what you're saying is when you put your car on Toro or any of these other platforms, they just throwing you in the mix.
Yeah.
You're in there with everybody. So, you might be 10 different cars, the same cars as yours, and it's just a picking game. So you're eliminating that, and you're promoting your vehicles to do what they got to do.
Big time. You got to stand out to be outstanding, right?
Gotcha.
In order to stand out to be outstanding,
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? That's what outstanding is, just simply standing out, right? So if I'm on Toro and I'm looking for a car, and you got the regular basic model car like a Toyota Camry or a Corolla, and with the cloth seats and not the leather seats, or not the red seats, or not the peanut butter seats, right? Then you're just like everyone else. If you don't name your car, you're just like everybody else. Everybody else got the same Corolla that you got. Gotcha. But if you call that Corolla Superman Blue, now it's like, oh, I want the Superman Blue Corolla, right? Just those little tweaks can help somebody.
That makes a difference, because I tell you what, Miss Panda is looking beautiful.
Yes, sir.
I seen Miss Panda. Woo, I like her. What is that, a 2021?
Yes, sir. 2021 Tesla Model Y, aka Tesla Trills, but it's Miss Panda for everybody else.
Got you, Miss Panda. So with that said, I want to elaborate on that a little bit more. Because most people think when you rent a car, you're coming from out of town and you need a car to get around, and you turn it in. And a lot of people like to come rent these cars and dog them out, and they want to see how fast they can go, smoke, and do everything else in these cars. You get it back, your car is a mess. So that's one thing about Toro I want to put out there. But that's not what you're doing.
No. So Rent My Rideshare is the premium rideshare for the premium cars for the rideshare community. Our motto is rent with the best, forget the rest, right? That's our motto. And so with this, when you understand the mindset of an Uber driver, Uber and Lyft driver, then you know how to cater to that driver, right? So we don't rent our cars on Toro. We have we rent to them directly, right? I don't rent to anybody who's not an Uber and Lyft driver, right? So on Toro, you got people that come out of town or want to go out of town, so they rent your car to do just that. Now, if some people buy cars that they dream cars and rent them out to help pay for the car note. But here's tip number one: if you're emotionally attached to your car, do not rent that car out.
Exactly.
Period. Right? Find another way to come up with the money to take care of that note, or just don't get it until you're able to afford the note. Right?
Or don't get emotionally attached to it.
Correct.
Any car.
Correct. Well, that's easier said than done.
Yeah.
Right?
Got to have that mindset.
You got to have that mindset. You got to be ready. So what happens is somebody get a Scat Pack car in Atlanta. Everybody love them challenges, them charges, and them Hellcats, right? That 9 times out of 10 they get in that car to speed in that car, or else why would you get it?
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, if you're renting that kind of car, expect tire burnouts. Expect, all kinds of stuff happening to your car. Transmission, all that kind of thing will happen faster than any other car, right? So I said, all right, when I was going through my mentorship, and I'll give y'all a tip, always seek mentorship. Always seek a mentor out.
Important.
Very key. It accelerates your whole time here, because time is your true currency, right? After we spend our time, we're gone. That's our true currency. Drop, coin drop, right? but you know what I'm saying? So time is our true currency. So the faster we can get to our goals, the more time we have to enjoy those things that we're looking to achieve, right?
Yeah.
So I said, all right, cool. I don't want to do what they're doing, right? Because they're going to go out of town. They're going to smoke in your car. They're going to do whatever they need to do with it, because it's for play, not for profit. So with the renters of renting Uber and Lyft drivers, they need your car. First of all, they need your car. It's a necessity to them versus somebody who wants your car.
That's right.
Which is a luxury on Toro. For us, they need our car, right? I rent my ride share, right? So if they need your car, they're going to treat it with the best respect, because they want that car to last long so they can keep making money with the car.
See, that's very important. So I want to let y'all know what he's actually doing. He's helping people. These are people that need a vehicle to make money so they can feed their family. So he's providing them with a vehicle to do just that. And they're going to in turn take care of that vehicle. And you also get to monitor what they're doing and, stuff like that. So they're just not off gone with it and.
Yeah, so we get the person in the car, right? One, we pick the car that I put it like this. There's a way to find out what cars produce the most profits for you on the platform, right? So meaning you can do Uber X, Uber XL, Connect, Comfort. All my rideshare people know what that means. What that means is when you go and open your Uber app or your Lyft app and you want to choose a ride, they ask you, do you want to do X, Comfort, Connect, those different things. And certain cars qualify for those different tier levels of income. Mm-hmm. So if I got the proper car that feeds the needs of all those different features with that one car, that Uber driver is making more money than somebody who has a Corolla that can only do Uber X, right? Can't do Comfort because it's not big enough for Comfort.
Gotcha.
Right? So once they understand that, okay, I need a car that can make me more money just by having the car, then I get the car that looks good to me. So people buy with emotions, right? Not logics, right? And I'll give you an example. People buy Louis belts not for the functionality of the belt, but how the belt makes them feel based on who's seeing them with the belt. I can have the same belt that's $15. The functionality is to open the belt buckle and close the belt buckle and hold my pants up, right?
That's right.
Both belts do the same thing. But why are they paying $1,000 for a Louis belt versus the $15 for my belt? Mm-hmm. It's the feeling they get from having it. So if I know that's the people buy with emotion and justify it with action, then I say, okay, I'm gonna get the car that look the best, meaning the wheel packet gotta look great, the colors gotta look great, and the interior has to be leather. Because in the rideshare world, if you have cloth seats, you have all kinds of people getting in your car, and it holds the smell. Right? So your next rider is gonna get in like, ugh.
Yeah.
You got a blanket you can put back in,
yeah,
right?
You're right.
But if you have leather seats, you can sanitize it better, wipe it down, and people feel more comfortable driving in your cars. So
that's great, because see, not only are you helping them get a job, you actually thinking about them and thinking about how they feel riding it. So that's very important, because now they renting this car and they don't want to bring it back. They want to continue renting and continue making money, because a lot of times you can go rent a car and for that purpose, but you can get the car and it could be a bucket or something that ain't really fit, don't got Bluetooth or nothing in it. And I seen the cars you're getting some nice cars. These is not just no junk cars, you know. So let's talk about something, because you know, I do watch your podcast a lot, you know, and
Appreciate it.
I hear you I hear you talk about a lot of times, you know, knowing how to use your money and letting your money work for you. So, you know, a lot of times people think, okay, well, yeah, these cars that he's talking about, you know, cost $20,000 or $15,000. I need to just go out and spend this $15,000 I saved up and go buy me a car, you know, but I don't think that's what you're saying you need to do.
Right.
That's not how you scale the business.
Not at all. In my opinion, I'm only giving you what works for me.
Too.
Right. I'm going to give you what works for me and people that follow my blueprint, right? People say, yo, I should buy all cash cars. And I say, okay, cool. That sounds great. So Jeff, they asked me, Jeff, if I got $15,000, what car should I get? I said, what car should you get? Okay, let's paint the picture. If you take this car, you spend $15,000 for one car, right? Now you got your car, you excited, boom, boom, boom. You put it on the platform, somebody rents it, something happens to the car. You get into an accident, right? Or the driver gets into an accident. Now you're out of commission, making no more money on that car because that car is totaled, and your $15,000 investment into that car is gone, right? Now, if I was you, but I'm not, but if I was you, I would take that same $15,000. I would say, okay, if these cars that I'm financing are $20,000 or whatever, right? The down payments are $3,000. Now I can take that $15,000 and get 5 cars, right? 5 cars, $3,000 down. Because guess what? I'm not paying that $20,000 anyway for those cars. My drivers are.
The drivers are. Yeah.
Right? I'm not worrying about high interest rate if you got bad credit because my driver's paying the interest rate. Right? So now I got 5 cars for that $15,000. I can recoup my $15,000 faster because all that I need to do, each driver need to make me $3,000, and then now I'm in profit. But because now you becoming the bank instead of letting the bank leveraging the bank's money to make you money, right? Mm-hmm. The driver's going to pay the car note, and you're still making a profit. After your $3,000, now you're making full profit, right? Versus having $15,000, you got to make the $15,000 back before you can truly say you're making a profit. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense, and that's why he say go hard or go homeless. And before we even go any farther, can you show him the hat?
Oh, yeah.
He do have clothes, merch, and everything else for the movement. And you see the Trillionaire Elite shirt. He is the CEO of Trillionaire Elite. You know.
So let me explain this, Tat, right? So it's Go Hard or Go Homeless, right? This is off the Motivate Me brand, right? And this is off of the Incorrect series, where we correct the incorrect. People say go hard or go home. Mm-hmm. Well, that's incorrect, because if you don't go hard, you won't have a home to go to. So this is off the Incorrect series. I call it the fully kitted. We got snapback hats, but I got a bigger head, so I need the footed cap. Okay, so this is it. This is off of GoHardOrGoHomeless.com. You can buy the merch and represent, because I promise you, it's a conversational piece when you're rocking the hat and they say, "Oh wow!" So anybody who have businesses and they rock the merch, they'll see people have track of conversations off of what you wear, right? That's basically, I want to motivate the world in real life instead of on somebody's wall.
Got you.
But appreciate the merch shout out.
Oh, most definitely. And I like that, the Incorrect series.
Yes, sir.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, we have the Incorrect series and we have the I Am series. So the I Am series is I am phenomenal. You know, I am forever hungry, right? So, because if you're forever hungry, you'll never starve.
That's right.
So those are things we're bringing out. You know, I am determined. So we got the I Am series, we got the Incorrect series. So we got some things that's coming out off of MotivateMeBrand.com that's going to be really, really, really powerful in the coming months and years.
That's right. See, and I'm a believer that stay hungry and don't never be satisfied.
Mm-hmm. Live full, die empty. That's my motto.
That's right.
Live full. Shout out to Les Brown for speaking that. That's where I first heard it. You got to live full and die empty. That's the motto.
Yeah, and if you guys don't know who that is, I know a lot of my viewers don't know. Les Brown is a powerful, motivational speaker. You need to go Google him and check out some of his. I often post a lot of his speeches on my Facebook page, so you know if you may seen some on there as well. But speaking on the RMR Rent My Ride Share, goes a little farther than that, because you are actively doing it, and you actually have a domination course. The key word, domination.
Correct.
Talk to them about it and how they can join and learn, because it's more than just watching this podcast. He gonna give you a little bit of it, but he ain't gonna give you all the sauce. You got to come on and join the class and the course, and where you can learn it. And plus, not only that, you don't want to just get into something and make mistakes. He's going to keep it where you don't make mistakes and do it the correct way that he's showing you, and you will have success. But go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you. So because of my rideshare company, right? People have been asking me, how do I do that? How are you able to rent out to Uber drivers? So they would pay me a consultation fee on the side. And what I realized from doing that, because I'm big on impact over income, right? I could take your income, but did you really get impacted? And so I said, instead of me doing these one-on-ones where you're going to pay me and then you're going to have more questions and you want to book another consultation, I said, listen, let me put it all together in one place, right? I know people buy courses, mentorships, and they get a lot of information. Information overload, right? Analysis and paralysis. And I said, I'm gonna keep my mentorship simple because I am that avatar. I am that guy that bought courses and mentorships and haven't done half the stuff that they got because they have so much information.
Yeah.
Right.
And a lot of fluff.
Some have fluff. Some because they want to just throw it in there to make their content powerful. But I've learned from my mentors how to bring it and make it make sense, right? So I said, on top of that, I need to make sure I show you the exact steps that I did to get where I am at, right? I don't want to give you fluff. I don't want to bring things in here that doesn't make sense to the mentorship. So we dived in and we did over 10 classes. Some classes are 2 hours long. Some classes are 4 hours long because the code is what? Make sure you are clear to make necessary moves you need to make to really have a real impact. So we start you out as a future dominator. When you get into rideshare domination, because this is what we dominate the marketplace. That's what rideshare domination is, where we dominate the rideshare space. So you come into the mentorship as a future dominator, and you'll leave out this bad boy as a rideshare dominator. So you're an FD when you first start, and then when you get a renter that's in your car, renting your car out, you become a rideshare domination RD.
Yeah, that's dope. It needed a round of applause for that because domination is a powerful word right there. So, let's talk a little bit about your Trillionaire Elite.
Sure. So here's the cool thing about before I move to Trillionaire Elite. The power of dominating, we don't compete, we dominate, right? We don't compete, we dominate, right? But we collaborate as well. So we don't compete, we collaborate and dominate. But the rideshare domination mentorship is where you got to understand the mindset of the driver, what kind of cars is beneficial for the driver, how to increase the income earning on the driver, for the drivers. Because you see, if you show them how to make more income doing what they're already doing, they have no problems paying you weekly pays. So I have some cars that, when I first started, my mentor, he said, push me a Mitch, he said, when I started, I've renting cars out to Uber drivers for $350 to $450 a week. And I'm like, $350 to $450 a week? What? And then when I got my first car, I was nervous. And then I asked my mentor, hey, he said, you want me to help you list it? I said, sure. But then he got real busy, so he couldn't. So what happened was I got busy and I had to go to Dubai right before I got my first renter. He booked the car and I got him the car a day before I left to Dubai, right? What happened was he rented the car for me for $406 a week, right? So I'm like, now I'm at a place where all my cars are $400 or more a week, right? And people are like, how you getting $400 a week? Because you set the tone. When you get everything lined up, they want the car. Remember, emotions will have somebody pay for things that everybody else may think logically is out of control or out of this world, right? So now we got cars ranging from $450 to $500 a week going out. The Teslas are $700 a week, right? And if they're late, we charge them a $100 late fee. Why? People are like, $100 late fee? Oh my God. I charge you a $100 inconvenience fee because I don't want you to pay a late fee. But if you inconvenience me, I have to inconvenience you so that next week I don't want to be late.
Gotcha.
Right? But at the end of the day, we're making massive income just off of late fees. And that's when you realize these banks and these big companies, they make majority of the money off their late fees because the habits of people, it never fails, right? So long story short, rideshare domination is showing you how to do exactly all of that. Right? So And now to get to your question with the trillionaire elite.
Hold on.
Sure.
Now, that's very important because he elaborated a little bit more on it. So you got a lot of people that go out and they watch YouTube and they try and take a little bit of information from this, or I'm going to go study, because they don't want to spend no money. If you're not willing to invest in yourself, you're not trying to be successful.
100%.
Just like Jeff, I spend thousands educating myself, and that's actually how we met, you know, in a previous company, you know, and now we're business partners in a new company, and we're going to be doing more business together, you know, but that's for another conversation. But you have to invest in yourself. If you want to know how to do this, you can do this not just in Atlanta, in your city as well. And you can be the first one doing it. Just think about it. You'll be dominating your city. So very important.
What I want to add on to that, because people do that all the time, right? And I used to be that guy. I used to go to YouTube University and think I can make it make sense. Here's the deal. We put content on YouTube to bring you to our main source of where we really have the source, right? And so, yes, content is great, but you're going to get the how-to steps when you get into the mentorship. We just give you steps randomly, right? We don't show you the exact plays step by step.
Right.
And a lot of people don't have the blueprint to go step by step. So they take a little step and then dive in and try to figure it out. This is why you need mentors. One, step-by-step blueprint, and you get to come back and conversate with that mentor, that expert, that person that's been there before you, to get clarity if this is the right move or not, right? And that's why you got to invest in yourself and get around people who are actually doing what it is that you're looking to do.
That's right.
Right.
And you're not going out just making senseless mistakes.
Correct.
That's very important, because a lot of people think, oh, I can do it myself. Oh, it's in me. If anybody can do it, I can do it myself. No. Anybody that's successful, I don't care who it is, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, they did not do it themselves. I'm going to say it again. They did not do it themselves. Now, they may have started the idea, but everybody around that helps you contributes to your success. That's your team. So, you know, even myself, I have a mentor, and I want to give him a shout out. Shout out to the real estate OG, Kenny Russian.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
Shout out,
That's
Kenny.
my guy.
Yes, sir. I want to add to that before we move on. I want to give you, I like to paint pictures. I call myself True Picasso, right? I like to paint pictures.
True Picasso. I love that.
So you can get to, put it like this. If I'm going to your house, I can figure out how to get to your house on my own, right? But there's a GPS for a reason. And you've been to your house more times than I have ever been, right? So you can either have me put the address in the GPS, one, and let the GPS teach me how to go, which is the course, right? Mm-hmm. You can try to figure it out blindly by saying, oh, I live over here. Oh, I know that area. I've been over there before. I can figure it out, right? Or you could say, you can ask the mentor, and he's like, okay, where you at? You downtown? Okay, here's what I need you to do. Go here, 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 here. When you get there, take a left, and then you'll see me here, right? That's mentorship, teaching you how to get there without having to worry about the GPS. Because if the GPS goes out, which GPS be tweaking sometimes, and that's when you watch a course and then you get stumped with a question that you can't ask the mentor, right? Now you like, and now it's surprised and you stop because you like, the GPS is tweaking. It's like, oh my God, it's acting weird. It's telling me to go here, but that's not really what it's saying. Mm-hmm. But when I call my mentor, aka the person who house I'm going to, and they say, where you at? All right. Do this, do that, do this, do that, and now you're at their location. So that's the difference of you watching YouTube, trying to figure it out because you've heard of Cumberland Mall. You figure you can get there before, versus the GPS, and then the GPS is good, but if it tweaks on you, now what? But the mentor always know how to get you from where you are to where you want to be.
That's right. I like that. And I'm a firm believer of following the blueprint. A lot of people think the way to get success is they have to do it on their own with their own thought. They want to do it their own. They want to take what you show them and remix it.
Yeah.
No, you don't remix it. You follow the blueprint if you want to get paid. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm sure that's what Jeff's doing and most successful people's doing, you know.
Yeah. Try to remix the blueprint of a house. That house will not be where it needs to be. But anyway, yeah.
Let's talk to us a little bit about Trillionaire Elite.
Yes, sir. So Trillionaire Elite is my mother company, so to speak. So Trillionaire Elite is where we're not average, we're elite, right? So Trillionaire Elite is where I share, it's basically it houses everything inside of me because Trillionaire Elite is off of me, Jeff Trills. But it's the value that you have to become, right? The person you have to become to be a trillionaire. So it's like if there's a first billionaire. Trillionaire is not about the dollar amount for me. It's about the person you have to become in order to attract trillions into your life, right? So when you speak and you say, "Hey, Jeff Trills," you already confirming that I am a trillionaire, because the more you speak that to me, the more that becomes my reality. And anybody else who's a part of trillionaire elite, you know you're not average. You know that you are elite, right? So the elite do things. So I always say, first I start with somebody say, what would the millionaire you be doing right now? Right? We start with the millionaires because people can see millions, right? So I say, okay, if you want to be a millionaire, when ask your millionaire self, what would the millionaire Jeff Trills be doing right now? He wouldn't be sitting here watching Love and Hip Hop. He wouldn't be sitting here, complaining. He'd be figuring things out, right?
That's right.
So whenever you're in a rut, ask yourself, what would your millionaire person do? And if you can see what your millionaire person would do, you're already a millionaire.
Yeah, that's right. He telling you correctly. So I want to elaborate on that. Because like I said, I'm talking to a lot of listeners that just don't know. And I got a lot of family in small towns, Oklahoma City, Des Moines, Iowa, and I want them to get this message. What he is saying, in order to be a millionaire, billionaire, or whatever it is, you first have to see yourself being that.
Yes.
If you cannot see yourself having that type of money, or you don't see yourself in that position, 9 times out of 10 it's not going to happen. You have to manifest those things. Before I became the king of toes that I call myself, I worked for a tow company, but I used to go around Atlanta. I used to tell everybody, hey, I'm going to own me a tow company. Because, see, I started off before I started towing as a dispatcher, so I got the ins and outs on the inside, of how a tow company worked. And, just how, because I'm a hustler, I started seeing that money coming in, and the guy who owned the tow company was the same age as me. I said, oh, hold on now.
Right.
I could do this, you know what I'm saying? So I made it a point to learn everything when I was in that office. Then I got a good friend of mine hired at the company. He had never worked in towing before, but I told them he had worked in towing. But I told him, look here, bro, they're going to train you for 2 weeks. I need you to learn everything so then you can show me, and that's the play we did right there. I learned the towing, switched over, went to another company, A-Tow, where met a whole lot of great guys down there. They know who they are, and they know my story because they seen me go from that to that, you know what I'm saying? But they taught me everything, because there's one thing about towing, it's a difference from towing a broke down car on the side of the road than pulling up and APD got a car flipped over on 285 and everybody looking at you like, what you gonna do? We need to get this car. They want it done fast. So that's a real tour. So, I learned that business, but I went around and I told everybody, because I didn't have no money at the time. I was living in Pittsburgh, Pryor Road and University in the hood. Crazy. They know me over there, know. I told everybody, hey, I'm going to have me a tow company. I told so many people, they got tired of hearing me say it, and I knew they did, because I can read you. I'm like, they looking like, oh, here he go again, like this shit right here, But I kept saying it, I don't care. And if you didn't want to hear it, I'll tell the next person, Next thing you know, you can ask anybody down there, I had 7 trucks. That was mine, because when the universe answer it, you don't know how they going to bring it. I was ready to just get one truck on my own and grind up. I looked up, I had 7.
Right.
So, I took it from there and just kept on going, scaling the business. So back to what Jeff was saying, you have to see it first. You have to see the millions. You have to see yourself having trillions. You can't be a negative thinker expecting positive results.
Yes. I want to add to that. Here's a book you guys got to get. If you're looking to be an entrepreneur, see, a lot of people want to do it themselves. But when you understand it's not about how, but who can help you achieve those goals, it'll shift your whole life. So the book I want you guys to get is Who Not How. All right, audio book, whatever book,
Who Not How.
Who Not How. Because Henry Ford didn't ask how. Henry Ford asked who is better than me in this different areas of my business that I need done to do the job that I know I'm not able to do or capable to do. And that's why he could push a button and get any answer he wanted about his business, because he put himself around all the powerful who's he needed to bring his business to fruition. So I now master the power of who, right? I don't ask how can I get it done. I say who's qualified to do the work that I don't want to do, but still get the work done. So I don't wash my own clothes anymore. I don't clean my own house anymore, because that's taking time out of what I need to do to make me where I need to be, right? The impact has to happen And I don't need to waste time on things that I know I don't like or don't need to do to make things happen. So ask, who can I get to do X, Y? And that's on a smaller scale, ladies and gentlemen. People say, well, I'm saving money. Time is your currency, your money. So I'd rather spend that paper and really save my currency, which is time, to do the things I need to do in this universe until I leave this universe to my next situation. Does that make sense?
That makes perfect
When you
sense.
understand that time is your currency, you will spend those dollars to replace those minimum wage activities to do what you need to do to impact your life and the lives around you.
Well, most people, they think they're supposed to trade their time for their money. So
Right.
they end up at one job all day and not being able to do anything else.
Right.
So, that's powerful. Let's talk a little bit about making wealth real.
Oh, yeah.
Make wealth real. We both business partners in that, but I'm going to let you go ahead and speak on it. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, phenomenal. So everything we do and everything I do is in the circle of life for my businesses, right? Entrepreneurs is my market, right? So as entrepreneurs, we make money, but not properly structured. We make money, but don't know how to make that money make money for you, right? You need the who's and places to make sure that you're structured, you're not overpaying taxes, you're not getting got by the government, because you got the who's to make sure that you solidify in your situation. So Make Wealth Real is a company that myself and Shay is in, where we have experts in the fields. We call it a financial makeover.
That's right.
We make sure your finances is made over to where you're moving in a place of synergy. So with Make Wealth Real, we have experts. That's not us. We have experts that we are directed. We direct people to experts that will help you do what? If you guys work a 9-to-5 job or 1099ers, we have CPAs that will go ahead and make sure that you are not overpaying your taxes on your job.
That's powerful.
Let me ask you a question for those who are listening. When you got hired at your job, they tell you to fill out the W-2 form or W-4 form. I don't know what it is. I've had jobs since 2003, but that form, as you fill out, they say fill out this form.
W-2.
W-2, cool. W-2, fill out the W-2 form, and and give it back to us so we can make sure that we know how much Uncle Sam is going to get versus how much we're going to pay you. But did anybody ever educate you on how to properly fill out that W-2 form? 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, it's going to be no. No one told you how to properly fill out that form to where you keep more of the money than giving it to Uncle Sam.
And he's telling the truth, because I felt it out when I was working. I didn't know what I was doing. A lot of times I put exempt and go all year.
Yep. And you listen to, what you put on there? Oh, you got 5 kids? I'm about 5 too. What you got on there? 2? Oh, you looking at everybody else who's not experts in
That's right.
even how to properly fill out that thing. You haven't talked to a CPA about that at all. So 9 times out of 10, you got these high paying jobs and you look at your check, you're like, why is all these taxes coming out of my check? It's because you didn't probably understand that form or get anybody to show you how to properly fill that form out to where it's in your favor versus the government favor. That refund, they're telling you, the government tell you, here is the refund that you got for overpaying, right? So I'm not looking at the end of the year to get this money back. I can see if you got that money in your check every week, you wouldn't have to worry about trying to get caught up to pay bills.
Yeah.
Right? So we help you make sure that you're not overpaying the government. Make sure that for a business owner that you are your taxes, right? Make sure that you're not overpaying the taxes, right? Then if for one of my guys who wanted, my ladies and fellas that need to get their credit up, we got experts that will make sure that your credit is getting restored back to the level that you need to be, right? People want their credit so fast, they get fixed so fast, but they don't understand that it took them years to get it that bad. But you want a microwave credit score, but you don't understand a credit score is bigger than the score. It's actually the data points.
That's right.
You got to understand what your profile looks like. How beefy is your profile? For those who don't understand beefy, meaning you got to have your profile strong, because these creditors don't look at your score. They look at what's actually going on your report, right?
That's right.
So it's a misconception. From there, we show you how to eliminate some debts. See, people are paying bills, but they don't even know that these bills that they're paying, they can be overcharged. They're being overcharged for paying these bills.
Yeah.
Everybody know when it comes to Comcast or any cable bill, y'all feel the pain of overcharge. You're like, wait, I got this bill. I mean, I got this account and I was paying $100 a month. But out of nowhere, it went up to $200 a month. I didn't change my plan. I didn't change my services. But why is that service going up another $100? Right? We help our experts, the Who's, which will go to bat for you. Talk to your cell phone company, your cable company, your alarm system company, and if you're overpaying, if they're overcharging you, those negotiators will actually reduce those bills without risking the quality of your living. So they're going to change the service that you have. They're just going to reduce the bills because they know that you're being overcharged, and they know how to negotiate those deals to get those bills, reduced. A lot of people don't have cable no more because of the high bills. But what if you can have cable and still pay the same bill you're paying for the internet, and that's the bill you're really paying? Everybody got to have internet, whether they get rid of the cable or not. They got to have internet. So they're still getting you. Mm-hmm. So why pay $79 for internet when you can pay the same $79 or $110 for the whole package again? Because you have experts that negotiate the bill on your behalf.
That's right. See, that's powerful. So what I'm saying, and why I want to bring that up, because a lot of people think, like I said, on this show, we like to talk about getting more money. But I'm going to tell you right now, anybody can make money, but it's what you're doing with the money that's going to make you wealthy, and what you're doing behind the scenes, not just making money, because money can come in and we know it go right back out, and we need to realize we're living in a day and time where cash is trash, so we have to get that credit right. We have to do everything else, and that's why I also listen to 500 as well, and they turning credit into cash now, and they showing you how to leverage that credit and turn it into something bigger. We got to stop waking up and stop thinking with a ghetto mindset, that hood mindset. As long as I was in the hood hustling, making money, I didn't care nothing about no credit. But what saved me was I was making so much cash in the streets that I was buying stuff out. I never messed my credit up. I just needed to build something. So when I did get my sister, shout out to my sister, Sheena, when I did decide to get my credit right, it wasn't too bad. Right. Versus some people that was messing with their credit and they just ran it in the dirt, So, that's what the Make Wealth Real program is about, is not only like we don't bring you in and we leave you. We got experts, not us. We're not the experts. They're going to work with you. Also, they can even help you get a house.
Yeah. So we just introduced that. I want to tell you something real quick. People think making money is what you bring in. Making money is also what you don't have to pay out.
That's right.
Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Making money, not just you bringing money in, that's how you're making money. You actually make money by the less thing you have to pay out on. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So reducing your bills, that money now goes back into the cash flow pot instead of going into the expense pot, right? Same thing with the real estate. Real estate, we are in a position where after we show you how to get financially fit, get a financial makeover, now you're equipped to buy what? Your home, right? You're equipped to buy land, because we also show you how to buy land 20 to 40% below market value in the path of growth, right? Imagine if you was able to buy land in the dot-com boom, bought land before they built the buildings that is now called Silicon Valley, right? How well off would you be? Well, we have an opportunity now to acquire land in something called the Solar Valley, which is Antelope Valley, where we get to buy land before they start building these solar companies all up, because solar is where we're going. So we're now able to buy land in Solar Valley, right, and be able to not miss this boom. So it's pretty exciting what Make Wealth Real has to offer for anybody who's looking to become tapped into the services, right? Mm-hmm. So that's what I love about the Make Wealth Real program, is that we show you how to get a financial makeover, and then we show you to do with that money once you actually start to be in a better financial position. Does that make sense?
Makes perfect sense. So what he's saying is when you come in, you don't, because they got a lot of people out here to do credit repair. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You get your credit repair and you still don't know what to do. You just go out and mess it up again. I've seen people do it. Long. So why not get with a community, a team that's going to stick with you all the way? Okay, you tell them, hey, I want to get my credit right. I want to eventually buy a home. I don't have a home. I want to do this, and do that. And you're with us, and we stick with you as a whole, because, I'm not the expert. Right. I tell people all the time, if I'm the smartest person in the room, I'm in the wrong room, you know, and I'm trying to learn, you know, always at all times. So make wealth real is very powerful and it's a necessary. So with that being said, if anybody that's watching this podcast, no matter where you at, if you want to be a part of that community, just give me a DM and we'll bring you right in. You know, we all work together, you know, and that's just what it is. And if anybody want to learn more about the Rent My Ride Share or Ride Share business, DM Jeff. Tell them what your Facebook, your IG, your social media is. Go ahead and let them know how to find you.
Sure. Everything is Jeff Trills, all right?
That's right.
And once again, the most powerful name you could ever own is your name, right? On the internet. So if you don't have your .com for your name, if you're naming on social media, then you really you
branding.
You're branding, and the best brand is you, right? So at Jeff Trills, you can find me on social media at Jeff Trills, Facebook Jeff Trills, everything Jeff Trills, right? So that's where you can follow me at. RideShareDomination.com. But when you go to get the discount for this show, the Hustler's Mindset, you can DM me, right, and say, hey, I heard you off the Hustler Mindset podcast, and because of Shay, I'm gonna make sure I drop a special discount for you guys to get the podcast, get the course at a discounted rate. So just DM me, say you was at Hustle Mindset with Shay, and I'll make sure I get you the code.
See, that's powerful. Y'all hear that, hustlers? See, when you get in circles and you deal with other hustlers, they look out for you. And that tells you right there, just like they say, when you hang around 4 broke people, you're going to be the fifth one. But you get around 4 hustlers, they're going to make sure you get it too. So he's going to give you a discount just for tuning into this show. And that's real great right there, you know. Yeah. So but we appreciate that, brother.
Nah, for sure.
Yes.
Man.
And also, while you're here, I got something for you.
Oh, we got goodies?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
they ain't tell me we got goodies now.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what I'm talking about, Chip.
Yeah, this for my brother right here, the CEO,
sir.
Jeff Trill, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Get that right there on camera.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, champion.
So when you out there in your car, you know what I'm saying, I want you to always feel like the hustler you are.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that, bro. Might have to incorporate that in my podcast.
Yeah, so y'all going to get a lot more of Jeff. You know, he's going to come back in the future. Like I said, this is a business partner and a friend of mine. I'm most definitely going to bring him back in. But, you know, is there anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
Here's what I want to say, guys. I mean, for me, it was all about going hard or go homeless. You got to decide to be great because you simply are great, right? And once you decide that and you say, okay, you ask yourself what the millionaire you should be doing right now, I promise you it'll move you forward to getting closer to that millionaire version of you. And it's not about the money, guys. It's about the impact. Impact over income. You know how you make a lot of money? Here's how you make a lot of money. The people that make the most money solve the most problems, right? The bigger the problem that you solve, the bigger the income that you receive. So ask yourself, what problem can I solve? And who has a problem that needs solving? And once you understand those two things, and you give the solution to the people that have those problems, you won't even have an issue with your income. Your income will be out of here because you created an impact to get that income.
That's right. See, he just gave y'all a gem. So, you know, want to say this to everybody that's listening. You know, go out there and make things happen for yourself. You know, stop depending on these jobs that always, you know, do the right thing, because when you get laid off, how you going to feed your family? See, that's what this show is all about. You know, the hustler's mindset, you know, leveraging your income and scaling businesses and doing everything that you need to do to be successful for yourself and your family, you know. And Jeff right here is actually doing that. I'm a witness of it. Anybody that follow him, you're going to witness it as well. But, you know, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, Jeff, and we're going to get out of here. And I want y'all to stay tuned. You can find me on Facebook, on Instagram at official_I am Che. And like he said, branding, because my name is Che. You can find me on YouTube, where this podcast will be airing at on. You can find me on YouTube at I am Che, yes, Hustler Vision TV.
Yes,
but I'm pretty
sir.
sure all you got to do is put in I am Che. I also got a series coming out called A Hustler's Ambition, you know, because I got a lot of different things going on, which we'll discuss later. You know, right now it's not about me. It's about Jeff Trills. Go hard or go homeless, because that's what I'm doing. I'm going hard or going homeless. This is a Hustler's Mindset podcast. I'm your boy, I am Che. That's Jeff Trills, and we are out.
Hey.